Howdy. So I want to talk a little bit about training and how much exercise you should be doing to get the results you want, and just a bit with the timetable and how the classes work, like how you can make the classes work better for you. So with the strength training or the burn and tone classes, that kind of training breaks down your muscles, like it literally rips them and tears them. Which is what you want. So by lifting the heavy weights or doing the body weight exercises for some, which is challenging, you're breaking down that muscle. So the time after the class is super important because that is when the muscle is repairing. So you need to make sure you're eating protein because the protein will build the muscle. Just got a message. Protein will build the muscle. But you also need to rest after. So the time after the class, like 24 hours after, 48 hours after, is super important for the muscles. So that's the burn and tone classes. The boxing and kickboxing are more cardio based, so they're not the strength training for your muscles. And then stretch and flex is obviously just gentle stretching. So it's mostly the burn and tone ones that I want to talk about. So how many classes do you need to do for best results? I recommend 3 to 4 classes a week for burn and tone, and if preferable, on non-consecutive days. Now, obviously, if you're doing 4, there's going to be some kind of consecutive days there. So you can do consecutive days. The most I would recommend is 3. Then you need a break. If 2 is okay, 3 is kind of pushing it, because you're going to be targeting the same muscles in the exercises, some of the same muscles, it won't be all of them, and then they're not getting that chance to regenerate and grow in between classes. Personally, I used to train 6 days a week. I used to weight train 6 days a week, and it was just far too much for me. At the time, I didn't see that, and the thing was, I was struggling to lose weight, so I weighed more than I did now, and I was training more. So I wasn't just doing 6 weight sessions a week, I was also doing cardio. So I did dragon boating, and I was doing that like 5 times a week. I was exercising a lot, yet I couldn't seem to lose the last 4 to 5 kilos, and it's because I was overtraining and I was probably under eating as well. But at the time, because I wasn't losing the weight, I just kept thinking I've got to stick to it, I've got to do as much as I can, and I've got to eat as little as I can. And it just didn't work. So now, and since I've had kids, so the last 5 years, I have trained 3 times a week on non-consecutive days. So I used to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now I'm in the studio, it's a little bit different. And I probably do 4 days now. I throw in an extra, predominantly glute day. The others are full body workouts. Full body works the best. So when you do a full body workout, you're going to be challenging as many muscles as you can. Which will burn the most calories and give you the best bang for your buck. But you do need that rest period after, so make sure you're getting your 3 main meals of protein and you are resting. So definitely have 1 rest day a week where you do totally nothing, okay? Not even going for a walk, totally nothing, okay? Probably best if you have 2 rest days. It's not bad. You can go for a walk if you like, or light bike ride, nothing too stressful. When it comes to the timetable with Beautiful Fit classes, so some of you do back-to-back classes, which you can do, and if you do the back-to-back classes, and I've tried to put it this way on the timetable, basically the class you do first is the class that kind of exercise you want as your priority. So for me, if I was going to do like a strength workout and some kind of cardio, I would do the strength workout first because you'll have the most energy, you'll be able to put the most into it, and I'll do cardio after. If you do the cardio first, that will fatigue you, and then do the strength, you won't have as much energy to perform in the strength class. So when it comes to the classes, you can certainly do a burn and tone class first, and then afterwards do a boxing or a kickboxing. That would work quite well, and that's the way I've tried to put it in the timetable. So you can do that. You can certainly do it around the other way, but you might find if you do boxing or kickboxing first, that you're pretty tired then in the burn and tone. So you might not get, you might not push yourself as much and get as much out of it. So that's just what I wanted to say about the timetable. Please make sure you're definitely having one rest day. 2 won't hurt. And you could mix it up each week as well. And it might depend on, when you're working or if you're going away, you can factor it in like that. But if you do, so one other thing I wanted to say was do not do 2 burn and tone classes in one day. That is not productive at all. And there's actually no benefit for it. You've got that muscle that you might have worked on in the morning and you've broken it down, and then if you come back 6-8 hours later and do it again, there's no benefit. The muscle's not having the time to repair. So if you do burn and like strength training every day, it can lead to overtraining. So if you're overtraining, you can get increased cortisol levels in your body, which you can also get. You get increased cortisol if you're stressed, and that can lead to it will inhibit muscle growth and stop your muscle repairing and functioning as well as you want, which we don't want. It can also decrease testosterone production. It can make you crave carbs. So if you're really stressed out, you crave carbs. So too much exercise is your body's way of saying it wants more to eat because you're just doing too much and you're not giving enough time to repair. You'll feel fatigued and exhausted, and you'll also sleep worse off. And sleep is also important in the muscle growth. So doing more is not necessarily better. You need to be smart about your training. So do the strength training non-consecutive days if you can. That's why I set up the timetable for the 6 a.m s. You've got burn and tone, then kickboxing, burn and tone, boxing, burn and tone, or booty and abs. So you can do the 5 days in a row there, and you've got the non-consecutive days for the strength training, you've got the cardio in between. Evening classes, you can, at the different times, you'll be able to work it out to do non-consecutive days. The stretch and flex is good as a double because stretching is always good for your muscles and for your mindset as well, and relaxing. So I hope that helps a little bit explaining like how the strength training works. It's definitely not a concept of more is better and we'll get better results. You certainly get to a point where it's not better and your body would just say, it's too much, I need to rest. And you'll probably feel that way as well. So it's not bad to have a rest day, or you might even feel like 2 or 3 sometimes, once a month. So I typically have 1 or 2 rest days a week. I don't usually factor in longer rest periods because usually the kids will get sick or I'll get sick, and that forces me to take a break. But if you go on a holiday, you can factor it in then if you don't want to do anything while you're away. So that explains a little bit about strength training and how the timetable works. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Thank you. I do just want to add, you can do 2 classes in one day if you do 1 burn and tone and then a boxing or kickboxing like in the evening or whatever. So it's totally fine to come back, do 1 at 6 a.m, 1 in the evening, or 9:30 and the evening. That's fine to do the different classes.